Reciprocity's map choice. They're able to steal away Consulate 8-7 away from NaVi. Their map falls, but NaVi lost map number 1 Cafe to Wildcard yesterday. Can they pull it back for 2 in a row once again? They're setting themselves up in a precarious situation, being on their back foot, but they will be also starting on the defense on Villa, the slightly more favored side on Villa. And I don't know what happened, but our operator bans slowed down.
I think we got a tech pause, I believe. I think we're getting something fixed real quick.
I'd imagine so.
Getting something fixed real quick. So no server crash, that's good. We're good. We're good. We only had that a couple of times this LAN, which is fine. Right? It happens. It's a LAN build, and every once in a while the LAN build just doesn't operate it the way that we want it to. This is a very complex game, folks. I know you guys love to rant and rave about it, but I mean, you have caliber-based destruction, for God's sakes. This thing's insane. This game is literally mental.
So for Villa heading in, I do agree a lot with what the Death said. You know, get the roam going if you're Reciprocity, and again, keep the pace, keep the tempo high if you're Rec, if you're looking to take this pretty swiftly. Looks like we're getting back underway here, so we're gonna start things off with a Maverick ban on Villa. No shock there. Thing that I'm worried about here is maybe we might get a Thatcher ban coming up from Reciprocity. They are starting on attack, so that limits their opportunities. They'd have to go downstairs with some soft destruction, but instead we're going to get that Nomad ban, like the Death said as well. Get rid of the Nomad, allow your flexibility when you're on the defensive side. You're going to have to worry about Citizen, but that means that once again, like Hassan said, Fox A has Jackal. Fox and Jackal on Villa are a very nice combo. Rolling in, and we're going to go back to another tech pause here. So we got halfway on the operator bans.
Heyo.
And then we kind of got to slow down here for a second.
And these map bans these operator bans are extremely regular. I mean, Maverick is insane on this map especially. And then Nomad, just to be able to shut down rotation. That's why Gridlock got instituted into the game, is because you needed somebody else when she did get removed that you could possibly put into the field. And Gridlock arguably is on par with her. I mean, the utility isn't obviously the same, but she still has a fantastic gun inside of the F90. And she's one of the most played 3 armors in the game on the offense.
Hey, we're back. There goes an echo on the band. So we have one more operator ban to conclude here. This is NaVi's ban. And they're going to round it out with Amira. Okay. We're not getting too inventive with the defensive bans here. We do have a Maestro in play instead of an Echo this time on Villa. And for NaVi as well, starting on the defense, like I said, you're going to be slightly favored here, but we've seen an equalization over time. It's not as defensive-sided as it used to be. You know, 4-2 half might be a little bit more normal, but we've seen a lot more 3-3s. Teams are really starting to figure out how to attack, especially when teams have to go to that tertiary bomb site, whether it be living room and library or dining room and kitchen. This is, I actually don't recall seeing a Villa so far played throughout the event. So I might be wrong on that.
I have not. No, we haven't seen one. And actually, just to tag onto that along with you, the last time that Reciprocity played this map was all the way back on September 24th inside of PL. They played Evil Geniuses on it and lost 7-5. So that would be their one loss. And then you still obviously have the 1 win and 1 tie. But that's all within the last 6 months for them. So not very much VOD to go over, Flynn.
No, not a lot of odds for either of these teams on this map. And this is Reciprocity's map choice, like I said earlier, and like you can see in the top left-hand corner of all of your screens. I imagine Reciprocity, if they were going to choose to make it their pick, they've been working on some things in the background. NaVi on the defense, a lot of flexibility here. We have the Mozzie coming out back again. We have Kendrew on the Valkyrie this time, and we have Nello over to the Maestro. A lot of fun yesterday, especially on that Gridlock, like you mentioned, especially on Coastline against Wildcard.
Oh, man. Telling you, my friend, that's going to be, that might be the best clip of this entire LAN so far. That was so very impressive by Nello.
I will say the bomb site choice, a little interesting. We're starting off dining room and kitchen to begin things with the defensive rotation here for NaVi. But then again, they also started Teller's Archives on Consulate on the defense, and Retro's going to start things off onto Citizen. Oh no, that's your top fragger by a wide margin on Consulate, removed from play early. We'll have to see if Skies can keep up that kind of pace. Same thing with Citizen, or will this be more of a team match?
Yeah, and you can see things have already shifted up quite a bit. I talked a lot about laxing on IQ on Consulate, and you're more than likely going to see the reason why. Laxing is scary as hell on this operator. He might not have the highest headshot percentage. I feel like a lot of people feel like your headshot percentage all of a sudden turns into kills as saves headshots Retro, but Laxling doesn't need that. Laxling just kills you. If you're going to gunfight Lax, you're more than likely going to lose it. He's very dominant inside of his ones, and it doesn't take a headshot to prove that.
So the remaining 4 members of Reciprocity will go less upstairs. Opening up the Astro Hatch now will be Fox A as the Jackal Pains continuously ring out onto Kendrew, avoiding the Hellfire from above from Fox A, making a punch hole to watch for any flanks coming out, and he's actually able to deal a little bit of damage to Kendrew, down to about 65 HP there for the Valkyrie. Waiting for the flank to come. They do have a Mozzie drone coming in. It's placed into the hallway. Sky spots it for a moment, but is unaware that it's not a friendly drone. So that'll be some more intel as an attempted flank up the red stairs here, I believe, by either Kendrew or Pi. Will be attempted by NaVi. Try and quell the top control. They do have a bit of soft destruction with Laxing with some breaching charges, and they do have Fox A with that secondary shotgun. But the reconstruction hasn't been a priority so far. And Laxing's actually downstairs hunting for Kendrew as the Jackal tries to come out again. The pre-fires to the soft wall, but Kendrew will dart away in the nick of time.
Very, very scary instance for Kendrew. He gets tagged up just a touch, but I believe that was upstairs inside of kitchen where that happened. Less than 1 minute remains on the board. Reciprocity has top map control, which is exactly what you want for this site, but they still have a lot of work to be done. Still need to be able to take over tarps and then get in towards the actual site. First bit of soft destruction through the flooring is going to happen by Mark. They don't have a buck to be able to handle this because they more than likely did not think that they would be going to the site. This is a perfect instance of being able to throw off your opponent. Sky's, though, going to get some Kairos down, recognizes out that he's more than likely going to get Evil Eye, but Fox A on the end of the map finds Kendrew on rotation, and all of a sudden Reciprocity has man advantage. They need to get this diffuser down, though, which means they need some presence on site. They try to cut him off through the rotate. Will it be a kill? No, it'll be a down at least. Can he catch him on the rotation through the hole of kitchen? They're fighting fire with fire. Fox with a double, but no, he gets chewed up. Who has the diffuser? It doesn't even matter. Reciprocity goes for the blade instead of the plant.
Reciprocity able to win their opening attack onto Dining and Kitchen. Like I said, that's a weird bomb site for NaVi to start off on. They did start, like I said, on Teller's Archives on Consulate, but that's one of your more vulnerable bomb sites to defend on Villa. So NaVi is going to swap things up rather swiftly here and head over towards Trophy and Statuary. So same side of the map, just upstairs instead of downstairs. Some operator swaps there, but in the previous round, honestly, that opener from Retro, a big difference maker. Just laying in the anticipation, honestly, from Retro to watch and wait for Citizen to go for that peek, and a beautiful shot there from Saves. So we didn't get to see that one live. Honestly, this Jackal, though, is going to be so oppressive from Fox A round after round after round. Obviously, NaVi will have it to their availability when they get onto the attacking side. But honestly, it's a difference maker, and it's really going to slow down the possibility for Citizen to make those spectacular plays, those elusive plays. A very slippery player. It's hard to lock him down, but when you have that Jackal, it's so much easier. But as I say that, Fox A is going to abandon the Jackal 1 round in. He's going to head to the Dokkaebi.
Not a bad exchange for Reciprocity, and their offensive side's looking a lot better on Villa. Nice methodical take, but they still have the objective in their sights. The issue with their last Consulate takes, especially in the beginning, was that there was really no, right or reason to what they were doing. They were kind of just walking aimlessly into bullets, and well, that's how you run up 4 rounds very quick on a defensive side, is just allow, the offense to just walk aimlessly. You shoot them, and it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. There wasn't really much fight back from Rec when it was on that offensive side of Consulate. But now that they're over on Villa, things have changed up a little bit, and hopefully they can continue to force this back. NaVi, though, need to change up the game plan. Citizen getting quite aggressive early on, which isn't a bad thing. He's proven that he is well within his right to be able to attempt that.
The big thing here for me for NaVi is making sure that it's not just the Citizen show again, and a little bit of that applies to Reciprocity as well. Pi gonna lose about 25 health inside of Astronomy through that punch hole made by Mark. Quick entry there, and honestly, both of these teams need to step up entirely in Retro, making amends for a map that was quite forgettable on Consulate. Starting things off with 2 entry kills here on Villa. 1 onto Citizen and 1 onto Nello. So there goes the Legion extremely early on. Still have the Thatcher to get rid of what remains of his utility strewn across the map, and pushing swiftly into the bathroom now with just over a minute burnt on the time control. This is a good spot to be in for Reciprocity.
And Nello with some botched positioning there. 1:45 left on the clock, so plenty of time for Reciprocity to handle what needs to be handled. Gonna start the work on the master wall. Some EMPs pour in, gonna get rid of a camera, and both of the X-Kairos pellets are going to go off. So that's going to be an open master wall now, facing into statuary. Concussion pours in, gonna get rid of some barbed wire, and plant a claymore for his leisure. Doesn't have to watch flank anymore unless he hears somebody shoot that claymore, and hears it pop. Another set of X-Kairos are going to go off to establish even more lines of sight, but this time it's going to go more towards the top. Retro is more than likely going to be the one to hold the cross over into Trophy. And this makes it extremely difficult for movement in between sites. You're now staring through the astronomy hall in between the two sites, as well as have a long line of sight across the opening in the floor to see into Trophy. If anyone stands up, they're more than likely going to lose their head for it.
Well, Rec had the pace to push in. The Citizen will take down Skies, looking for even more now, but he'll engage with Mark, and Mark will be taking the brunt end of that engagement. More shots will rattle off towards the door frame, but the drone had missed Kendrew tucked inside of the master door to statuary. I don't think anyone is well the wiser, and there goes Retro, looking for even more now will be Kendrew. Mark wary of a flank through. Installed out will be Foxay and Laxing, pushing up to the astronomy stairs, but not looking the correct direction will be saves, as Mark will take his head off for him. There goes the MPX rattling off, and another one for Kendrew, lazing in towards Foxay, taking constant damage, hitting the deck to try and hit the prone angle, but Foxay needs to blow out the Legion mine with 15 seconds remaining. No diffuser as it's lost at that master doorway, and Kendrew, prone on 10 HP, will be able to cover. Pyle will collect it for 3 on the round, and NaVi will respond right on back, equalizing at 1-1.
Fantastic play from NaVi. A little bit of a misplay from Nello, just didn't really understand where the rest of Reciprocity was. There was that gunfight through the closet into astronomy that happened, so we assumed that he knew their location, but apparently not. The rest of NaVi will make good on their promise, though, and win out the round. So I don't believe we're going to be seeing the kitchen anytime soon. They're more than likely going to go over to Aviator, and that's exactly what we're going to see. But throughout that round, we had some very nice shots, and Citizen to start us off on for their kills. Mark being able to trade things back, but overall a decent take from Reciprocity. They had the right idea, they just were not able to find the kills in order to get the diffuser down. A little bit of a misplay, not recognizing out that NaVi are going to be reactive once you get that wall open. There's only a few safe spaces inside of the rooms now, and one of them is going to be aggressive up towards the master door, and NaVi is not one to back down from taking an aggressive angle.
Well, the drone had missed Kendrew, sitting right tucked inside the door frame from master to statuary, and Retro tried to push in, thinking it was clear for an attempted plan after they had picked off saves. Once the smoke had gone down, they felt freedom to try and attempt to plant and hold for the post. But unfortunately, one missed drone, one missed call, and it shakes up the entire fate of the round. Reinforcements going onto the opposite side of the walls here. This is something that we saw all the way back in Milan, with the thermite charge going inside that destroyed wooden barricades, or the wooden beams on the reinforced walls that were evading the impact tricking. We haven't seen a whole lot of impact tricking coming either, especially with Nello's early opening death in the Legion, the only person available to take impacts. And no bandit tricking coming up from Kendrew either. He gets stalled and pushed off by that flurry of flashbangs that came over the wall. So not a whole lot that NaVi could do to stall out the breaching, and honestly, that's the name of the game on Villa, is how well you can contest the walls.
Absolutely, and that also comes with kind of a meta shift inside of impacts. It's not because impacts aren't effective anymore, it's because of the shift in what operators have those impacts. Legion is the main one now that has impacts, and as well as Maestro, who strangely enough got impacts as well, when everyone really thought that he was, pretty well for wear, but apparently they also wanted to shift that over. And it's actually proven to be that you actually have to ask someone to take impacts now, or take an operator with impacts, whereas it used to be you routinely had, 2 sets at all times. So you really have to try and set your defense up to have those at your disposal. We are going to have NaVi shift Kendrew over to a clash. We've seen her show face a couple of times throughout this series so far. I believe this is going to be roughly the 3rd time. Reciprocity going to be going for a north to south clear, starting their attack inside of Master. Oh! It's a shot from Retro. Doesn't even blink, doesn't even care. The round's not done yet, and that's all that Reciprocity is determined on. This is their map choice choice this time around. Sky's recognizing out that there is a clash inside of 90, and this could be a very bad spot for Kendrew to be at. He has a hatch. Concussions now allocated to the lifeline for Mark. Obviously has control of 2. Impact 1 pours in. Somebody needs to take the gunfight. They're waiting for the second. He knows 2 people are there. That's going to be plenty of bullets. Oh no, Pi! A double kill with the nitro cell, and all of a sudden, Rec thought that they had the round in the bag, but NaVi comes back.
Remaining members for Reciprocity now separated. Laxing inside a study, doing battle now with a member of NaVi. I believe that's Pi onto the south stairs, pushing through 90 Hall. Will be Retro, the man carrying the diffuser. The insurgents from Reciprocity down through 90, clearing out Kendrew on the clash. It was a beautiful execution and demonstration of teamwork, but unfortunately, that nitro cell blows their plans sky high. Laxing now wrapping back in around the rotate made. Saves on 5 HP, able to dart behind the bar. Laxing pouring in, but Nello has his cover. Retro alone now, returning fire onto the red stairs, onto Pi. Removing the Valkyrie from play. 20 seconds left. The smokes continue to pour into his doorway. He's going to have to go for the flank all the way down the 90 hallway onto the opposite side towards bar. Waiting for saves in behind the bar, holding close to the SMG-11. The pre-fires with 8 seconds left into the vault will not connect. And there goes Nello again, shutting him down in Reciprocity. Looked like they had the clean sweep there. Retro 3 for 3 on opening kills. But a beautiful reaction there. Pi and all of NaVi responding.
Nello, cool, calm, and collected for this NaVi roster, as he always is. He's always that backbone of the site that you still have to worry about, and he does such a good job of playing supporting angles, and that's exactly what NaVi did. Play smoke in behind bar, use those toxic babes, but at the end of the day, if he tries to get aggressive, we have an Alda lying in wait for him. Great play from NaVi, and specifically Pi. That was an insane nitro cell to open up the doors of success for NaVi. Reciprocity, though, need to try and link some more rounds together. Usually when you go into a map, you select a map because you're good on it on defense, not on your offense, especially with a map like Villa, which is defensive sided. But if Reciprocity can link together 3 rounds here, this could be huge for them. Nice little fact here from our friends over at Siege GG. Reciprocity has been strong in their Villa attacks, winning 62% of offensive rounds in recent history. So, kind of countered what I said, but that's perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter. If they do go up 4-2 on Villa, that's all the better. You're poised to definitely win the map then, because again, this map does tend to trend towards the defensive side. We aren't going to have too much of a shakeup on the defense. We will have Legion brought instead. Did not see him last time, but the offense going to stay relatively the same. Laxing's still going to be rocking the IQ. We'll have the Jackal in play, and Zofia will be rounding out our aggressive side of the operator lineup.
Well, I just must say, I'm very impressed with Retro's play so far here on Villa. I believe he was 1 in 10 at one point on Consulate. It was a forgettable game for Retro on the support play. Obviously, as a support player, it's not always your job to get kills, but I mean, 1 in 10 is a scoreline you really just don't want to bring up ever. 3 for 3 on opening picks on Thatcher, though. I'm really impressed with Retro's instigation, honestly, on this map. He's setting the tone for all of Reciprocity, and they're following suit right along with him. For Reciprocity attacking towards the top 4 once again, this is Kitchen and Dining. A return here for NaVi, the one round that they've lost so far here on Villa. They notice that there's nothing stalling them on the wall, but Skies has free entry, no one challenging Jukebox door into Laundry. They have a drone in place, no one going for impact tricking, so... I mean, you can still vault it. It's doable.
I was going to say, you're the support player here.
You can still vault it.
When I see that, I just go, oh no.
It's a little botched, but you can still vault it.
That works, okay. Thank you, Habana Expert. We appreciate you and your input on the matters that are at hand. Reciprocity still have plenty of time. Going to recognize out that Nello's playing inside of Tarps, and more than likely want to dispatch him quickly. He definitely was a thorn in their side the last time around, but not on this site in particular. Reciprocity really ran roughshod all over round 1, and that's exactly why they have that 1 round allocated to their round 1 slot. But NaVi with a quick 1-2 back, currently in the lead. Defensive set for them been working out decently well, but hasn't paid off in spades just yet. Still have to link together quite a few rounds in order to make this applicable for themselves. That's going to be a Jackal track, but it's not going to be the one that we would want if we could choose. We definitely want the Legion that's currently over inside a living room. It's going to be a quick move for Skies, but saves, puts him down. Oh no, it's all falling apart for Reciprocity as Laxing seemed to meet the same fate. Pre-fire for Mark as he works his way into the dining room, but it's trades back and forth, and not even trades. It's so one-sided. NaVi! It's Mark all alone in sight. He has to do it with a 1v5. He could possibly try and go save Lax, but he's inside a bicycle. That's not a place that you want to be. 38 seconds remain. He's now getting marked by a well-placed Valkyrie camera, and that's gonna be a flawless round for NaVi.
Make it 3 in a row so we continue the streaks here in this matchup. NaVi began with 4 in a row on Consulate before Reciprocity responded with 4 in a row of their own. It looked like it was going to be a Reciprocity team continuing their momentum coming over from Consulate on that 8-7 victory. But NaVi, in typical fashion, they cleaned up their act after round number 1, as they did also lose the first map yesterday to Wildcard that then ran both maps back. For Reciprocity here, honestly, didn't hate a lot of what I saw from the attack there. It came down to those gunfights and the positioning. Lack of intel was a big difference maker though. They were trying to push him without the drones, and that's something that they've been employing to pick up the pace, which we've been asking for, so you can't have your cake in 82. But unfortunately there, NaVi learning from the mistakes of past rounds that they had lost. It's going to lead to attack timeout for Reciprocity here, and it's going to force NaVi back upstairs to Trophy and Statuary. Reciprocity really needs to throw a kink into the rotation of defenses here.
The issue is for Reciprocity in that last round is that they didn't go for the same attack that they did on their first round that they won. There was no top presence. Right when Skies got access to Laundry, they just tried to pressure Laundry as well as Tarps, and it didn't work out for them. There was plenty of NaVi members strewn across the map inside of Living Room and everything else to counter a collapse to happen on Tarps. So without that information, Reciprocity walks in blind and gets completely obliterated. They need to bring it back to center. That's probably why the tactical timeout was brought in from Hopes. Just, hey, that's a flawless round. Let's shut this down real quick. We need to talk this out. Let's bring this back to what we know and what was successful the first time.
Well, I mean, it's something you employ when you run that strategy, when you're trying to barrage in through Tarps and through the main hallway with no Laundry presence from the defense, and especially with how little top floor presence is being brought by NaVi. They're playing for the flank. If you can start panicking NaVi, that's what happened the last time around, is they eventually rotated upstairs, but they tried that same kind of thing where you force NaVi to either quickly flank up or quickly flood back into Memorial. You can catch them on a rotate there. It's a pretty, honestly, commonly used strategy from a lot of teams on Villa when attacking towards Dining and Living Room. Unfortunately there, the retake was pretty successful for NaVi, which is not something that I've been saying a whole lot today, especially on Consulate. So for Rec there, like I said, don't hate what I saw. It just didn't work out like they planned. They've now dropped 3 in a row, so it's time to stop the bleeding and get back into the game.
All right, well, moving on from that, we will be going, I believe, upstairs to Trophy. I do believe we can get back to the regular camera here. I'll be able to tell you. I can't really tell the measurements from here. It does appear that we will be upstairs. Yeah, as everyone is poised on this end, so obviously that telegraphs to us that, hey, we are going to be on Trophy Statuary. Last time around, Reciprocity had a pretty good take on this site. They just had a couple of issues that eventually blew up in their face, and the main one was they didn't have any information inside of Statuary. So Natus Vincere was able to rotate closer to the master door than Reciprocity really liked them to be, and NaVi won off of some heroic plays, especially with Citizen on a very long angle through the holes that were made by Reciprocity with those like Skyros pellets.
Well, that's a bit of a wasted utility there for NaVi. Obviously, drones exist. They do have a Thatcher, so that's an evil eye thrown to the wayside there for NaVi, being tucked inside these arches windows inside of Master on the left-hand side. Quickly dispatched of by Retro, and didn't get the opening pick last round, Retro, so he's 3 for 4. You can't really complain on that one. He is the support player, but opening pick will go to the side of NaVi, trying to continue the run that they're on. It's a Nitrocell to dispatch a Sky, so there goes your Heart Breacher as well. Something that was so simple for Reciprocity last time around won't be conducted at all, which was opening up the walls. They had a full statue wall open from Master side. No one really contesting for NaVi. No Bandit trick coming out from Kendra when he was on the Bandit last time they defended here. No Impact tricking coming from Nello when he was on the Legion. Now they don't have to worry about breaching at all. They should should know based on the last time around when Skies was on Hibana attacking this site that that's the Hibana down. You don't have to worry about breach. They're still going to thatch the wall, just get the bandit batteries off for the fun of it. But now you got to focus on barraging in through bathroom. It's an Astro overload that will really be the difference maker for Reciprocity on this one. Can you push in cleanly, or are you going to get caught off by some angles? They're able to bait out the second Nitro Cell on the side of NaVi, though, and the stun canisters come pouring in.
Going to try and pressure from Astronomy stairs here, as Flynn just said. You have to overload it. Laxing's going to get very aggressive. He doesn't have a Legion to worry about, but obviously he doesn't know that, so he's going to switch over to the Electronics Center real quick just to check it out. 5.52 Commando in hand. He goes in for the aggressive peek here. Does he recognize out where he is? He pre-fires a hole in desk, but that's not exactly where he is. He's a little bit farther off to the left-hand side. He's actually going to deal a lot of damage to Mark. Oh no, it's going to be the Toxic Babe to finish him off. Laxing trades it out though. Can he get two? He can! Oh no, Laxing's starting to warm up, and this could be very dangerous for NaVi. This is not what you want to see. They still need to get this plant down though. It's in the hands of Retro. They have control of Trophy, but do they have full control? No, they don't. Citizen as well as one more inside. Sage falls off. It's a 1v2 now, and NaVi shuts it down, and that's going to be 4 straight rounds for them, and no more tack timeout to bail out Reciprocity.
Tough break there for Rec as they lose the hard breacher early as the opening pick to a Nitro Cell, and you got to go contingency plan at that point. They did what I wanted them to do, which was overload Astro, but unfortunately, just beautiful work there from the Valkyrie inside of Astro to continuously fight on back, and the support from the smoke as well. That Toxic Babe coming into that bathroom door. Difference makers on the round, and honestly X factors for NaVi right now. The teamwork seems to be becoming much more alive. It was Nello's launching it over the wall, so this guy's just getting a little too close to the wall there, unfortunately, leaving himself open. Nice angle there from Laxing though to take down the member playing inside a statuary of Nello. But yeah, Pi inside of Astro being honestly a thorn in the side of all of Reciprocity to slow them down and make sure that there was no potential swift entry into Astronomy, and then saves again on the support with the smoke grenades. Excellent teamwork there for NaVi, sets them up for a 4-1 lead. They could head into the half 5-1, but after losing that first round, honestly, Reciprocity's attacks looked good. They still have looked good. Villa's just one of those maps. Honestly, Reciprocity's usually better at attacking, like we saw from the stat line, and Villa itself is coming closer to the mid-ground. Just looks like NaVi is firing on a cylinder that they weren't on console.
Yeah, and for NaVi, they are doing a couple of things just a touch out of the ordinary that really doesn't happen inside of North America. That could always be the issue that Reciprocity is dealing with, because as we saw, NaVi doesn't really play this map that much either. It's not their most played map. Obviously, a VOD you can go back and watch, but it's always different when you're inside of a LAN environment. You're going to see things pulled out that have been worked on for 6 months, a year, that they just haven't had to reach far enough inside of their bag in order to pull out just yet. Reciprocity, though, they need to win this round. A 4-2 split is not that bad on Villa. 3-3 is obviously where you want to be at, but 4-2 is still doable from the defensive side. And again, you usually choose your maps based on how good you are on defense. So knowing that information, Reciprocity could actually run things up on NaVi here. We could have a complete remake of what happened the last time around. Laxing going to have a very intelligent cam inside of Astronomy. Haven't seen that one used in a while.
So last time around, it was Pi's Nitro Cell that really defanged this push here from Reciprocity. That Nitro Cell from Pi taking 2 lives with him, as well as Nello joining in with the Alda. It was a clean sweep there to get rid of Kendra the Clash in 90. This time they'll dispatch the Evil Eye that was placed in the same position as last time around, but no Kendra to contend with. So no 90 window presence just yet. As I say that, here comes Nello and here comes Kendra turning the corner. Laxing's going to make it all the way up to top red, though. And pulling out the SMG-9 will be Kendra to try and dispatch of a drone. Pre-fires from Mark for caution, just in case Kendra decides to peek with that secondary SMG sidearm. A lot of intel being gathered here for Reciprocity, but 3 members for NaVi all congregate inside of this hallway, trying to contest for the 90 control. That'll be up to Skies to come in if they want to breach 90, but it was a bit of a split push last time around. The last 2 remaining members when they were attacking this site were Retro and Laxing, 1 in study and 1 at 90. Seems like Reciprocity have ideas of accomplishing 2 separate tasks at the same time. Pi is downstairs, evading any kind of roam clear right now. Foxay hasn't been able to jackal track him out. Here come the stun canisters in. They're going to burn both, but not swing when the shield is to the side. Bit of a waste of utility there for Reciprocity, but I think they're baiting right now, NaVi is, to allow Nello to stay on the ground and continue to prone peek, but it seems like Mark is well aware of this, not landing any damage through that bookshelf turned over. 90 control looking very good here for NaVi. constantly stalling out, and now Team Reciprocity turning their attention towards the aviator door.
Well, they have 90 control now as everyone's bailed back to site, and that's exactly what they need. Only 30 seconds left, though, and obviously no Maverick, so they can't make quick work of any of these reinforced walls. They're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with the X-Kairos pellets and an EMP grenade. Rezo's going to take a little bit of damage as he's sitting on bust. Looking in towards gunvault door. Skies with the first kill on the save. That's huge. That's going to be the smoke off the board, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage. Mark to tag one up. He tries to rotate in, but Kendrew, of all people, will trade it back. No, it's Mark. He's been capitalizing on every single opportunity he's been thrown towards. Pi to battle back, and they need to get this diffuser down, but no, from underneath. They're stopping it all. Mark doesn't have the time, and NaVi! Oh my! That's 5 straight rounds.
They lose the first one on a risky take downstairs to dining room and kitchen, and they run it right on back 5 in a row. This is looking eerily similar to yesterday's contest for NaVi against Wildcard, in which they lost the first map of Cafe 7-5. And then all of a sudden, they get shot out of a cannon on Coastline. They win 7-1 to take Wildcard's map. This could be a run back as well, as both teams took each other's maps in that series between NaVi and Wildcard. Reciprocity took NaVi's map 8-7 on Consulate. We're waiting to see what the result is here on NaVi. Their attacking rounds will tell the tale of this game right now for Reciprocity, and honestly, their teamwork has looked incredibly impressive, but they haven't been able to roam clear Pi for a couple rounds now. He's been able to survive inside of Astronomy, downstairs with that Nitro cell, constantly being a thorn and suppressing any plant opportunities, and even shots down through the floor on an attempted plant. There goes the second Nitro. Pi, honestly, he's been a little quiet so far here in Tokoname. Haven't seen a whole lot out of him in the series against Wildcard, and even on Consulate, obviously. It was the Skies and Citizen show, but he's stepping up big for his team when they need him.
Yeah, and what a way to shut down a plant. Just play for the default spot underneath, and that's why we call it default, because everybody knows where it is, and you usually know where it is vertically, horizontally, doesn't matter. You always know where that spot's going to be, and you can always access it. This time around, it's going to be accessed by a couple of bullets and an explosion just for good measure, and NaVi rocking up 5 in a row. Can Reciprocity do exactly what they did on the last map? Can they make lightning strike twice? That's what they're going to need to do to bring it back on their map choice. Again, it seems like it's opposite, Dave Flynn. This exact same thing happened with NaVi yesterday. They lose their map, they win their opponent's map, then they win the game on map 3. Is Reciprocity going to fall to the exact same demise? NaVi making quick work of this clear. We're only 45 seconds in, and they've already pressured in towards benches. Some footmarks now coming through. That's going to be pressure inside of 90. That will be recognized out. Saves is already in towards Gunvault. He's waiting for the rotation. He shuts down Skies. He's waiting for the cross. They have to try and get back into sight. They have complete control. This is what we usually see from Reciprocity, but Mark's been downed as well. It's all the NaVi train as they're letting them know Daddy's home, as they've shut them completely out of their own sight. They've made it their own. The plan hasn't started just yet, but now Fox with a double to try and equalize. Citizen to fight back. He takes down Retro. Nello shutting down the mid-level here, and that's what they need to do in order to get this plant secured. It's going to be a Legion mine inside of his foot on red stairs, or main, as they'll start to plant on the reinforcement. Still plenty of time here, but no, Kendra's not even going to go for it. He's holding the bar door. Finally, as Nello's rotating over to shut it down on the rotate, he's going to find one. Laxing loses out the gunfight. It's going to be Fox to ace out in order to win the round and stunt them from going to map point. Stun grenades pour in. Fox has to challenge. Who's got the peak? It's a T95, and he can't do it. NaVi, 6 straight rounds.
We're going to run it all the way back as they did on Coastline against Wildcard yesterday. We saw the NaVi boys walking off the stage with faces of dejection and disappointment. And as they came back, they looked revitalized, a little more optimistic, a little happier on the faces. They came back and said, hey, we lost the first map yesterday. We can run it back just like we did 24 hours ago. For NaVi right now, you're in complete control, and that swift aggression into the bomb site, an excellent lockout, like you said. Foxe comes in with 2 big kills. But the retake unsuccessful for Reciprocity, and now NaVi in the driver's seat completely, looking to send us all the way to Clubhouse in a fit of fury. And should they win anytime within the next few rounds, they will also have choice of side on, guess what decider map it is? It's Clubhouse, the same decider map we saw yesterday. Now Wildcard put up one hell of a fight against NaVi yesterday on Clubhouse for the decider. But starting on the defense is still going to be your best advantage to secure the series and set yourself up with a date with Dark Zero in just a few hours.
Yeah, Reciprocity might want to go back to the drawing board on Villa. I just don't think that they have it to really step to NaVi. And now you know why NaVi's record is 6-2 on this. No ties, they don't need those, but they'll definitely take the 6 wins for their leisure. Overall, that attack, just so well articulated. It was insane. I mean, again, they just walk into site. They already had all the pressure that they needed. They knew no one was playing on red stairs. They got benches as well as statuary for free. We're able to just walk into Aviator and take over the entire site. The only person that they had that could have possibly have shut them down was a man playing inside of Gun Vault. And we all saw how that went. Saves wins the gunfight. You all now have complete control. Everyone has to try and run back to site. And as Flynn was talking about earlier, with these fast pushes, that's what you want them to do. You already have the rotations cut off. You get a ton of free kills, you get a free plant, and you get a free round.
He's going to run into some trouble here with Mark up at 90, trying to repel on the window. He'll be burning out the ADS that was placed with the flashbangs in the back pocket. I was honestly a little worried there that Mark might go for a jump out the 90 window there for a moment, but instead he opts to hold back and instead will challenge in towards Study, where Kendrew, the hard breacher, will be pushing in. Pretty swift entry here for NaVi into Study this time around instead of going for the far side take. Citizen holding for the flanks downstairs, making sure nobody's coming to nitro sell them sky high. Pi, the secondary hard breacher, will be positioned on the 90 window. He has an opportunity to open up that vault as well. Skies is the lone man to stop out the breaching, unless Fox is in position with the impact range to try and go for the trick, but no holes have been pre-made here for Reciprocity. So it's going to be all up to Skies on the Bandit, try and stall them out. He's got 2 Bandit batteries placed onto the walls facing in towards Aviator. The bar walls still remain empty for now, and as I say that, there we go. Bandit batteries being placed on, trying to do battle with Kendrew. The EMP comes out, and Kendrew will be placing on, and they'll stun lock him out to make sure they can open up the bar wall. Everyone has to peel on back, but 2 members for Reciprocity holding the south stairs with a rotate in. Kendrew, though, will get the opener onto Mark.
This is a setup that we first saw pulled off by TSM on this main stairs, but it gets shut down by NaVi. Laxing to fall as well. It's not going their way on their map choice. Is this going to be a 7-1 on Reciprocity on Villa? Again, you might want to go back to the drawing board here because NaVi is proving you wrong. Kendra going to see his foot in behind the bomb chassis, but won't shoot him. It's a 2v5 in order for Reciprocity to stay alive here on map 2. They won map 1, so we're guaranteed a map 3, especially after that. Sky's locked down inside a gun vault. He doesn't have that many bullets inside of his gun, and NaVi, 7 rounds in a row.
Sacrificing the first round to take the next 7 to secure the victory on Villa. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Clubhouse.
When Nello walked by us, he looked at both of us and he laughed and he goes, "We lost the first map yesterday, it's fine, don't worry about it." And then They come back and then they just run 7 rounds up.